Hello, everybody. This is William Jenkins with part 5 of my 5 video series on success in school. I hope that you have listened to the other 4, and if you have not, I hope that you'll go back and listen to those, and this one will make more sense. It is the concluding video. These videos have been presented or are being presented because I am passionately concerned and interested in the education of our kids. Education is a great, great problem in our country, and too many kids are leaving high school without the proper education. As a veteran educator, as a retired school teacher, retired from the classroom, I'm not really retired because I'm just as passionately interested in the education of young people today as I was when I was going to my school daily. So I am still doing whatever I can to help that effort, to help us become more successful, educating more of our kids. And these videos are done in order to enhance that effort. Now, if you've listened to the other videos, you know that the whole purpose of them is to prepare kids to be successful in high school and in life. And in those videos, I've talked about the things that every child can do to enhance his or her chance of being a more successful student and a more successful person. I've talked about deciding to graduate from high school, making graduation your destination. I talked about starting school with the right attitude, seeing school as successful students at C school, being prompt and present daily, coming with the right material, coming organized and ready to work, coming and expecting the school to be a friendly, cooperative place, bonding with a good teacher, choosing a favorite teacher, studying to learn, learning to shut up and listen, having good goals, staying on task, staying positive, joining groups, playing athletics, or getting into a club. All of those things I've talked about are things that you can do to enhance your chance of having a good high school experience. And one of the things that I want to say about that I didn't say in the previous tapes, high school ought to be a place that you enjoy, not just a place that you endure. The greatest time of your life should be in high school. You'll make friends that you'll have for a lifetime. This will be the last time that you will have a community such as the high school community to do the things that you can do in that community, to grow in the way that you can grow in that community, to have the support that you can have in that community. It is not this terrible place. It's not a prison where you go to be guarded over by adults and bossed around and made to do things. It is this warm and loving community where you go to meet other people who are like yourself and who have a group of people supervising you, trying to get you the things that you need to do that are in your best interest and that will build the best life for you. That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. This is the only country on the planet where we do as much as we do to provide a public free education for as many people as we do. So I, as a former classroom teacher and as a concerned citizen and as someone who now lives comfortably from my career and from the young people who still work and contribute to retirement systems and Social Security and all of that kind of stuff in this country. I want to always be active, giving back to the people who are making the contribution that they need to make to keep this country being the great country that it is. Your education is part of that. Now, one of the things that I want to say in conclusion, that one of the problems with getting kids to become educated is one of the problems of life. And that is that some of the most important decisions you make about life are made early in life. Some of the things that you have to live with for the rest of your life are decided and done at the very beginning of life. So even though you might know that the things that I've said in these previous 4 videos and the things that I might say in this one are accurate, are true, are good for you, you still may have a problem doing them because you're in that stage of life where passions and other people and other distractions get in your way and sometimes pull you away from the things that you know are good for you, things that are in your best interest. Well, you need to have an idea that's strong enough to keep you on task when other things are pulling you away from task. And here is an idea that I want to leave with you. The things that you're doing now are things that you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life. I want to read to you a paragraph from the last part of my book. And it says, regardless of how long you live, the quality of the rest of your life will be determined by the decisions you make and the things you do very early in your life. If you live to be 80 years old, the quality of the last 60 years of your life will be determined by the things you do in the first 20 years. Oh, that's true, but it's frightening. You are now in those first 20 years. You are building the foundation for the rest of your life. The kind of education you put into that foundation will determine the quality of that life. You will never be able to do later the things you can do now and get the benefits from them that you can get if you do them now. And if you don't do them now, you are likely to spend the rest of your life wishing you had done them. So if you knew the people that I know who are 40 and 50 years old, who wish that they could go back to where you are now and change some of those decisions, you would understand what I'm talking about. But they can't go back and you won't be able to return. So stick with it now. Stay in high school. Get your education and get your diploma. And in addition to that, leave high school going to a place to further your education. Leave high school going to college. Leave high school going to a technical school, trade school. Leave high school going to the service. Leave high school going to something else productive where you can continue to grow up and to learn and develop into a productive adulthood. If you just graduate from high school and go and get a job, the kind of job you can get at 18, fast foods and that kind of thing, the other kids who are in your class and in your age group who go on to college will be looking for jobs 4 years from now. And they'll be competing with you 4 years from now, 4 years from your graduation, rather. They'll be 22 with a college degree, and you'll be 22 with a high school diploma. Who do you think is going to be in the advantaged position? They will. So make sure that you leave high school going on to some place where you can continue to grow and develop as a person and as a professional person. One last thing. People sometimes think that they can drop out of high school and get a GED and they will be just fine. They think that that a GED and a high school diploma are the same. Well, they are not. And let me tell you why it is in your best interest to get your high school diploma. People drop out of school for all kinds of reasons. Some of them very good, some very bad. They drop out of school to spend time in jail, or they drop out of school to spend time taking care of their sick grandmother. When you get a GED, people don't know which one of those groups you fall in. So they, out of not knowing for sure, stay away from that crowd because they want somebody who's graduated from high school. Now, what does graduation mean? Graduation from high school means that you have been somewhere where you were supposed to be for 4 years, and matter of fact, for 12 years. It means that you have been under the supervision of adults for all of that time, that you know how to sit down and shut up and do what you're told, that you know how to take orders, that you know how to stick with something, that you know how to keep your mouth shut when you should. You know how to talk to grown people, listen to grown people. You know how to conform to the rules of a community, a civilized setting. You know how to do that because you have done it throughout your first years of teenage and now late teenage life. You've done that. And people believe that a kid who has done that in high school is better able to work on jobs to fit into the rest of society, and they trust that those teachers in the high school have done the things that they needed to do to bring you to that point. A GED does not guarantee that. So people don't know that when you get a GED. So get your high school diploma. Now, of course, there will be a few of you who won't be able to graduate. And there might be somebody looking at this video who who has already dropped out of school and for some reason can't go back. And a GED is your only option. Well, get it. It's better than nothing. But let me tell you something that I want you to do if you get the GED. As soon as you can, go to school, to a college, junior college, or go to service, or go to trade school, and complete a year. Because you see, people look at the last institution that you went to. So if you drop out of high school, your last records are with the high school. So that's where they'll go to find out that you dropped out. Well, if you go to a junior college and finish a 2-year program, nobody's going to look at the high school anymore. They're not going to say, well, did he get to your junior college by way of a GED or a high school diploma? They're not going to ask that. They're going to say, did he complete the courses there or didn't he? And if you completed the courses there, they will assume that whatever you needed in high school to prepare you for that, you have gotten it. They won't go and investigate whether you actually got it in high school or whether you learned it somewhere else after leaving high school. So if you wind up with a GED, go to a trade school, go to Job Corps, go to college, go to the service, and prove that the stuff that people think that you ought to have learned in high school, the civilizing stuff, the learning how to live in a community stuff, the learning how to talk to people, to get along with people, to obey rules, to be where you were supposed to be at a certain time consistently. Those kind of things that you learn in high school. If you go somewhere else where you have to do those things and do them to the extent that you're successful there, then the people will say, well, he has those things. We can trust him now. So I hope that these videos have helped you. And I hope that you will tell people about them. You will share them with people. You'll go, if you have a friend who's having problems in high school, you say, go to the internet and look at that video by this guy, William Jenkins. He knows stuff. And he will talk to you. And you will do, if you put into place the things that he tells you, you will be very, very successful in school and in life. I'm William Jenkins. Good luck.